Good morning, and welcome. We're going to make some index cards that are altered, and these are the type that I'm going to use. Hello, and welcome to my channel for Grace Creations. I'm glad you're here. So I'm going to use just a standard sized index card here, and this sewing tracing paper. I actually don't really know what it's called, but I got it at a thrift store. And I'm just going to rip off a piece and then kind of find where I want to place it. And I actually like the arrow and those lines. I'm going to have to do two. But first, let's go ahead and use some Distress Oxide. And on the back here where the lines are, where somebody's going to be writing, it's a journal card, so they're going to write. I'm just going to give it some character. And then we're going to go ahead and glue it on. Now, I'm going to use a Scotch permanent glue stick. It's the best I have found so far, by far. You can get it on Amazon. Make sure you get it on the edges everywhere. And then just put on your tracing paper wherever you want it. I am going to do two because I like these lines here, but I also like that arrow up there. And just press it down. Make sure you press the edges real good. And then we're just going to cut it all off, the edges, right up next to the card. Your scissors are going to get gluey. Look, stuff's going to stick. Don't use your best pair of scissors. Those are actually scissors I use only for stuff with glue. And now let's edge or do some Distress Oxide around the edges. And I'm using brushed corduroy, just in case you wanted to know. And it is Tim Holtz Ranger brand. And let's do this other one now. Which side? This one. Okay. Glue. Put down the arrow. Press it down real good. And then cut off the extra. Okay, now, book pages. Music paper. We're just going to collage on it, basically. And I think first I want book page. Just get the edges off that are blank. And then figure out where I want it before gluing it down. And also some music page. Go ahead and use the glue stick to get that down. This glue stick's like cement. It's the only one I have found that really, really works well. Okay. We have those. Now, cut the excess off right up against the edge of the index card again, using your scissors that are not the best. I call them my glue scissors. I just decided that's what they were going to be. So anything with glue on it, these are the scissors I use. And I will tell you, you're going to end up with a little bit of glue all over your fingers. Stuff is going to start sticking to you. Okay, now I want a little bit of paper that's going to catch the eye. So I just need to rip off a little strip of that and figure out where I want it. And then, of course, glue that down. You could ink the edges if you want. Don't have to. Just want to make sure you get enough glue. It's not going to come up. Now, after getting this all together, I am going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew around all the edges just to give it a little bit more texture. It does look pretty cool that way. And I'll do that part off camera, of course, because the sewing machine is pretty noisy. And I don't really have a way to set up. I can't record with one hand and sew with the other. I'm not that talented. And I'm going to use black thread. But look, stuff is sticking all over to my fingers. Okay. I'm going to crumple up some of a paper bag. You could use craft paper. You could use packing paper, but I'm going to crumple it up for texture. Black ink. And I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping, just in case I want to add some of this to my index cards as well. Never know. You could use stickers as well, but I don't use my stamps very often, so I figured I'd do this. Look at this teeny tiny little guy. I love it. It is so cute. Isn't that cute? Little butterfly. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use these, but I figured, well, if I don't, that's okay. And I love this postage stamp. And a tiny little leaf. Put the lid on the glue. Oops. Don't want that stuff to dry out. I think it's about $3 or $4. You can get it on Amazon, but I found it when I went to Staples, of all places, looking for printer paper. So, and they only had one stick, so I went ahead and got it. So I'm just going to rip these apart. And I might use this one, actually. I need to take more of the paper off, though. Now, you could ink around the edges. I'm not going to. Some days I do a lot of inking. Some days I don't do any. This one is kind of an in-betweener, but I think I want it there. But I'm thinking this washi tape underneath first. I hate trying to get these apart. If you have a trick, let me know, because I struggle big time. I mean, I got to wear my reading glasses, and every once in a while I want to just throw away the tape. Cut the edge off so nothing's hanging off the sides. And I'm going to use the fabric tack to get this on the washi tape, because that washi tape is really a smooth texture, almost waxy type. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not your typical washi tape, like with the paper feeling to it. We're going to get that down. Get more glue on our hands. Why not? Now, check this out. This is like a, I was looking for gold gilding wax, but I found this stuff. You can use it wet or dry, so paintbrush, finger, and I'm just going to go along the edges and just here and there, all over the place on this thing. You know what glue is, right? See what it looks like. I don't know. I figured I'd try. And it does look really cool. Yeah. So you might want to keep a wet sponge next to you, because that gets on your fingers. And if you get it wet, you can get it all off of your finger onto the paper. Almost like paint. It's weird. It's a weird texture. Okay. What else do we need? I feel like it's blank right there. Maybe that's okay. How about we let it dry? I guess we could stamp the word joy on there. I used black before. I'm going to use this forest moss. See what happens. Oh. Well, now it says joy on the forest moss. Well. Let's use this and see what happens. I bet we get some black and some green. Oh my goodness. Okay. Get it straight. Okay, press down fairly hard. I think I pressed too hard. Oh, yep. So you see it does have a little black and a little green. That's kind of cool, except look. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out something. Maybe just using this green around the edges and blending it in to make it kind of look like it was on purpose. What do you think? I said, you know, okay, here we go. I'm going to add more all over the place, front and back, I think. Maybe that'll look okay. Maybe it'll be a little like, oh yeah, that was done on purpose, when really, no, it was a big fat mistakey poo. But again, you just roll with it. All right. Get the extra
yeah,
ink
okay,
off.
so
I don't
you
want
got
it
that
rubbing
from
all
me,
over
my
the
dear,
place.
because I have that
Already have
problem.
ink all over myself. Just a little bit more green. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I think we're going to stick with that. Let's maybe one of those tiny little leaves. Get some of the extra brown paper off. I know. I keep saying I'm going to be done, and I like it, but it's fun adding stuff to this. Let's try this one. Okay. Oh! There we go. How about right by the joy? Cover up a little bit of that mistake I made.
Yeah, so I thought I had two as well.
That's kind of cool.
Don't know the answer to that question.
$20, Victoria.
Because the rest
Oh,
has that.
she has.
That should stay. All right. Now we're done. Yeah. Let's do the other one. I'm thinking with that arrow, what should we do? Well, I know we got to cut all this off first. So cut off the extra. There we go. Okay. Oh. Look at this. I recently made this messy paper in another video. I have a tutorial of it, actually. It's called Making a Mess or something like that. Something about mess making. I think I want to add some of this. Not too much, though. Figure out where to put it. You could use any paper. Just something to kind of draw the eye. Again, we're technically, all we're doing is collaging on this, right? You could use absolutely anything you wanted to. You could use fabric. I'm not using fabric, and that is because when I'm done, I'm actually going to add fabric tabs, if you will. You see how there's a little tab at the top of this? It looks like a mini file folder. All of them that I make, I'm going to make fake tabs at the top out of fabric. And I'm just going to cut a piece of fabric and staple it up to the top and call it good. Because I think it looks kind of cool that way. And I will show you at the very end what we end up with. I'm going to probably make, 10 or 15 of these just because they're so much fun to do. And it's a little mask making project, and I can set it aside and then use it whenever I need it. Little journaling cards. Now this one I glued on backwards. Look. I really should have done it where the letters were to cover that up, but maybe I'll just add a fabric tab to this one too to cover those letters. I don't know for sure. A little inking with that brushed corduroy distress oxide. And I'm thinking front and back. I wish I had some jade green or emerald green colored distress oxide. That would have been cool. All right, these have been sitting in my stash forever, and they're in my use it or lose it pile. I got 6 months to use or give away this little pile I set aside, because literally I've had this stuff sitting for a year. Ooh, we ought to do a use it or lose it swap. Like, yeah, maybe if you want to do a swap, we could just send me an email. On the main area of my page, my about information, my email's there. And if anybody wants to do a swap, we could do that. In the United States, though, it is really, really expensive to send a thick package, a heavy package, or a box outside of the United States. So I'm just sticking to my Scrappy 8 crew when mailing outside of the country from here on out. One of our crew from the Scrappy 8 is in Sweden. But who knows, if there's a couple people that want to do a swap and, you know, 2 of you are outside of the U.S. and you want to be partners, we could do that too. Anyway, yeah, just let me know in the comments if you want to be a swap partner. We could swap things that, you know, use it or lose it things. Things we just don't use that are cool, we just don't use them, and maybe somebody else might love to have them. It could be anything. Brads, altered paper clips, stamps, altered index cards, fabric, lace, doilies, coffee-dyed paper, eco-dyed paper, anything. Okay. And never worry about stuff hanging off the edges, because you just turn it upside down or turn it over and trim off the edges with your glue scissors. Now, I will tell you that if you put on lotion before doing this project, it is easier to wash the ink and glue off your hands. Any lotion, doesn't matter what kind. I keep some in my bathroom, and I keep some at my craft desk. I'm at the kitchen table today working, and I did forget to put on lotion. So it's going to be a little bit harder to get this off. That's okay. So I have decided to use some Tim Holtz Little People. I know some people think they're creepy. I used to. But some of them, they're fun to use. So I think maybe we'll use that here. Just for something a little different. So typically with these people, I will use this Fabri-Tac or Fabri-Fix. I'll put some on and then I'll use my finger to rub it around. That way I don't get too much oozing out because, well, that happens to me all the time. I use way too much glue usually. What do you think? I'm loving it. Yeah, we're going to put these married people here on this page. I can't stop, right? I love them. And I mean, joy. There's joy on your wedding day, so why not add the married people? All right, where should we put them? Guess it wouldn't really matter, but they're going right there. Oh, everything is sticking to me. There we are, altered index card as a journaling card. So thanks for being here, everybody. Could you do me a favor and give my video a thumbs up? And here's just a few of the finished products. And if you're on social media or YouTube, tag me with your creations. I always love to see what you make. Thanks, guys. See you later.